When dealing with a belief, like thinking you sold your soul and you deserve to be punished, you can use the meta-model questions to find specifics. The first step in changing a mindset or a belief is identifying the specific details about that belief itself. The meta-model questions, they're used to explore how someone thinks and how they structure their beliefs. To use this on yourself or others, try asking, what exactly do you mean by sold my soul? To clarify the metaphor and pinpoint the deeper feeling. What would it mean if you hadn't made that deal? To open up alternative possibilities and to explore if you feel trapped by an assumption. How do you know your chance for a fresh start is gone? To challenge the belief and to see if there's space for a change. What specifically makes you feel like you need to suffer for the past? To get to the core of guilt or self-punishment. The meta-model questions, they allow us to break down broad or abstract ideas into more manageable pieces. By doing this, we can see the belief more clearly and find places where it's not fully true, or where a shift could happen. The sleight of mouth and the reframing. Once you've identified specific beliefs, sleight of mouth patterns, they help you to reframe them. These patterns allow you to take a limiting belief and to shift its meaning, often creating new options. For example, the belief, I made a deal with the devil and now I must suffer. The reframe, what if this situation was a learning experience, a challenge that helped you grow? What if the experience wasn't a punishment, but a way to awaken your deeper compassion and strength? You can use different sleight of mouth patterns, like a context reframe. What if this situation you think is a curse could actually be your opportunity to develop an even greater sense of compassion and peace? A content reframe. Is it possible that the challenges you faced, they're just stepping stones to the compassion and strength that you're now cultivating? And the positive intention. What if all the suffering is just trying to teach you a way to help others avoid it, transforming it into something positive? The metaphors and analogies. Using metaphors is a powerful hypnotic language pattern that bypasses the conscious mind, and it speaks directly to the unconscious. Metaphors help to reframe abstract feelings and thoughts, making them easier to process. For example, life is like a garden. Sometimes the soil that we start with feels barren, but when we nurture it, the right seeds grow. Your past is just the soil. How you tend to it now, with love and care, it'll shape what blossoms next. The idea here is to embed a story or analogy that reflects transformation, growth and healing. This bypasses the logical part of the brain, and it engages with deeper subconscious processes. We can create a shift with hypnotic language. In Ericksonian hypnosis, the idea is to speak in a way that leads the listener's mind into a state of openness. You can use indirect suggestions to plant new ideas. A potential approach could be, it's interesting how sometimes when we feel like we've made the worst decision, we're actually learning the most. I wonder how many times perhaps this experience might actually be shaping you into something more loving, more connected with the world than ever before. Here, the ambiguity, it allows the listener, or you in this case, to process and find new meaning in their experience without being forced into it. The pattern interrupts and questions. A key element to make someone stop and think is a pattern interrupt. This disrupts their thought cycle, and it forces them to process new ideas. At the end of a powerful metaphor or a reframe, you can use a question to create that interrupt. Isn't it interesting how sometimes we think we're stuck, but we're actually growing in ways we couldn't even imagine? What would happen if you decided that, starting now, you don't have to carry that burden anymore? What would your life look like if you gave yourself permission to move forward? What if instead of being punished, this was actually the universe giving you a unique opportunity to shift your path. You can reinforce positive core beliefs. To create lasting change, you want to install beliefs that support your growth. You can use affirmations or repeated suggestions to make them stick. I'm capable of changing my beliefs in my life. Every challenge I faced has taught me something valuable about compassion and strength. I'm worthy of peace, and I give myself permission to let go of past mistakes. The more I release limiting beliefs, the more possibilities I create for myself. By combining the meta-model questioning, the sleight of mouth reframing, the hypnotic language patterns, and positive affirmations, you can begin to transform your internal narrative. As you shift your beliefs, you create new possibilities, not just for yourself, but those you seek to help as well. It's a process that takes time, but with patience, compassion, and commitment to your own growth, you can create the reality you desire, one where you no longer are bound by the past decisions, but empowered by choices you make today.